In the distant future, people have learned to travel through space and even live on other planets. In some areas of space, there are special beacons that serve as a beacon for spaceships. Right now, the spacecraft is heading towards Beacon 23. The captain is trying to contact the beacon to get permission to approach. Meanwhile, at the lighthouse, a man notices a signal from a spaceship. He sees that there is an accumulation of dark matter on their way. He says that it is dangerous to fly further, but no one hears him. Then he tries to turn on a special signal, but an unknown error appears on the screen. Then he decides to turn on the signal manually. He puts on a suit and inserts an iron pipe into the gears. The red light only comes on for a few seconds. Efforts are not enough to warn of danger. The spaceship explodes. A man at the lighthouse checks to see if there are survivors, and it turns out that there is a living person in one hibernation capsule. He flies into outer space and saves a woman named Aster. He wakes her from her sleep and gives her a healing patch, which immediately merges with the woman's skin. She starts to feel much better. He tells her his name, Solomon, and she says that her space shuttle was destroyed, and now she is at Lighthouse 23. Aster says that she knows where she is, because that's where she was heading. She says that she must study the new ore that Solomon found. After lunch, Aster meets a robot named Bart. He doesn't speak but helps control the lighthouse. Solomon asks Aster again why she came. She says that after studying his reports, management sent her to study the stones found. Solomon doesn't understand what reports she's talking about. Aster asks for access to all the lighthouse data and to take her to the minerals found. He refuses her and begins to get angry. He asks her to go and rest. Aster comes to his room and takes out a device from his bag. It turns out to be artificial intelligence. Her name is Harmony. This device is almost the same as Joy in Blade Runner. Harmony begins to charge its batteries. Solomon has strange visions or memories. Meanwhile, Aster asks Bart to show her the video footage. She sees that the real Solomon looks different. A man comes pretending to be another person and says that his real name is Hallen. He reveals that Solomon, the real lighthouse keeper, stole Hallen's spaceship. But Aster doesn't want to know anything about it and says that she should just study the minerals. But Hallen is very interested in the question, when will another ship come for her? To which Aster does not answer and behaves strangely. They start a fight. Hallen turns out to be stronger and he chains Aster. But Aster is freed with the help of Harmony, which has already finished recharging. They find Hallen and lock him in an isolated compartment. It turns out that Bart can speak, and Hallen turned off his speech function. Bart is very angry with him and says that Hallen killed Solomon. Hallen says that Bart is lying and everything was wrong. But Aster doesn't believe him and locks him up. Aster is going to find the stones that Solomon found. Bart says that he doesn't know where he hid them. Bart talks a lot, and it becomes clear why Hallen turned off his voice. Aster decides to talk to Hallen, and he again begins to see strange images and visions. He says that he cannot stay here because he is a deserter. He says that if the department flies here, a bad fate awaits him. Aster asks about the stones, but hearing about them, Hallen begins to go crazy and behave aggressively. Aster guesses that the former military man has post-traumatic syndrome. She gives him a sedative, and he comes to his senses. Aster gains Hallen's trust so that he can help her find the hidden stones. They begin searching, and when Aster finds the hiding place, Hallen becomes ill again. She gives him the medicine and moves on herself. Aster manages to find many glowing stones. She comes to Hallen and says that she cannot let him go. He is very angry with her, but he cannot do anything. Aster begins to study the stones. She tries to extract the blue substance, but it immediately disappears. Hallen notices that a spaceship is heading towards them. Bart also reports that an unknown ship is approaching. Aster realizes that these are bad people and tries to lock the doors to the lighthouse. But people from the ship break open the doors and go inside. A group of several people enters the lighthouse. One of them turns out to be a technician who quickly turns off the alarm. Bart suggests turning off life support on the first level of the lighthouse to prevent infiltration into other compartments. But Aster understands that Hallen will die too. She is against such a plan. But Bart, on the contrary, thinks this is a great idea. The technician connects to the system using an organic wire or gut. He starts hacking. He manages to disable Bart, but it takes longer to open the doors. The young guy accidentally finds Hallen and immediately calls the boss. Halen says that he is a former military man and only wants to fly away from here and take revenge on Aster. He offers his help and says that he will open the doors in 5 minutes. They let him go, but Boss forces the young guy to go with him. The young guy turns out to be the son of this woman, who was a senator in one of the colonies. Aster learns that the colony on their planet died due to hunger. Their lighthouse was hacked, and the transport ships could not deliver supplies. Halen quickly escapes from the inexperienced soldier. Boss is very angry with the boy and begins to threaten him. His mother intervenes and asks him to calm down. Halen attacks Aster and pretends to hit her. The robbers see that he is on their side, but Aster does not understand that Halen is pretending, and she hits him hard between the legs. Harmony turns off the cameras so the two can come up with a plan. Halen says that he will help her and take their ship, but to do this, you need to take a weapon. They come to another floor, and it turns out that Halen is the weapon. He is a soldier with many cyber implants. Halen needs more time to recharge. They decide to open the doors so the group can split up. The boss sends the kid first because he doesn't feel sorry for him. The mother goes after her son. They arrive at the desired compartment, but the doors close. The mother is trying to explain to her son that there is no need to listen to these bandits. You need to think about yourself. But the guy doesn't understand and blames his mother for everything that happened. They have a quarrel, and the guy points a gun at his mother, but she takes the weapon away and tells him not to do that again. Aster contacts the woman and tries to negotiate. We learn that the robbers were hired by the QTA company. It turns out that Aster also arrived on the orders of this company. Halen finds out that Aster is not who she says she is, and so Halen finishes recharging and rushes into battle. He easily eliminates the technician and starts a fight with the girl. She turns out to be a strong fighter, but Halen turns out to be stronger. Aster meets with a female senator and makes a deal. She lets them go, gives them money, but asks them to leave the stones. Halen meets with the boss and he shoots him. Halen loses consciousness. The boss heads towards Aster. She tricks him into a trap and forces him to use up his ammunition, and then she stabs him with a sharp knife several times. Halan wakes up and meets the woman and her son. The woman says that Aster asked to take Halen with her in order to save him, but Halen refuses and goes to help Aster. The boy doesn't like the fact that his mother is going to leave her boss and fly away. He begins to blame her again for the death of their relatives. He points his gun at her and shoots. After killing her, he goes to help the boss, but realizes that he is the only one left alive. He gets into the spaceship and flies away. Halan finds Aster. He is surprised that she killed the thug herself. She asks why he didn't fly away, to which Halan replies that he doesn't want to be alone anymore. And that's where the second episode ends. Write your opinion about this TV show in the comments. Do you write that you would like to see a continuation? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell to be the first to watch new videos.